Good evening. How everyone doing today? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Summer J. Spiritual Divine. I'm going to give you a short news on tonight. On today. So used to working at night. Okay, first we're going to start with a lot of policy had got canceled years ago, and we've been all the time we keep fighting for these policies to be restored. For some reason, they haven't been restored. Like Roe versus Wade, it needs to be restored and established. So Roe versus Wade, last establishment was 1973. So restore Roe versus Wade, the right for all women, to choose a product, health that were in place under Roe versus Wade. Restore the right of every American to access abortion care. So the United States, Supreme Court case that legalized abortion in the United States, in 1973. It was safe, it was legal. Abortion had remained, a recognized federal constitution. Right for nationwide for nearly 50 years. So it was good, for 50 years. And then all of a sudden they criminalized the abortion, saying it was a crime. So that's when they shut Roe versus Wade down. So they end January the 22nd of 1973. So that's when they end Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court ruling Roe versus Wade by discriminating abortion all across the nation, and they stated it was a crime. So that's when they had shut it down, when they discriminated, the abortion, saying it was a crime. So they shut it down all across the nation. But that is a woman's church. That's a woman's church. And then we can't look at it as a crime. We have to look at it when a woman is pregnant. She might have difficulty, life threatened, that she had to have this procedure done or she's going to lose her life. So now they're banning abortion. They having a problem. She have to go to 9 months not knowing if she going to risk her life, if she going to survive. So I request that restore Roe versus Wade, the protection prior to court decision, for all American women all across the nation, to have the right to access abortion care. Because it have a number of reasons why they need this. Not because it's a crime. A woman may get raped, and she got to carry that seed all the way to 9 months until she can get rid of that baby. A woman baby might be dissolved in her belly. She cannot have the procedure, so she got to go a whole 9 months with a dead body baby in her belly. Until 9 months until that baby come out. So these are things we're talking about why the abortion is have to take place. Because it's life threatening for women that have these complications. Baby may go in the tube. And baby had to stay in that tube for a whole 9 months. So we need to restore Roe versus Wade. Okay, so then I request WHPA, that's Women Health Protection Act. So it's also known as federal legislation. Said when they pass, we'll reestablish a nationwide right to access abortion care in the United States. So we can look into that to help reestablish, these policies for abortion. So the pregnancy belongs to the individual. So pregnancy belongs to the individual. Not to the government. Not for the government to make a decision for a woman body that she have the right to make a decision. She have the right, especially if she passed 18 years old. She have the right. I can see when they're under 18 years old, they cannot make the decision. But it's a woman's church, not the government church. So Restore, Roe versus Wade, reestablish, WHPA, that's Women Health Protection Act, all women across the nation. All these policies need to be restored, it needs to be established, it needs to be sealed. Because the last time it was established in 1973. And we need to have it established again. So that's Roe versus Wade. And another one brought to my attention. I couldn't put all this stuff out yesterday. I had difficulty with my equipment. So I need to get new equipment, when you have a problem with your phone. So voters registration policy. Now we need to restore this. We need it to be established. It needs to be sealed. Because registration, we have to have that. Ain't no such thing. We have to cancel that. Because we have teenagers that's 18 years old is able to vote, but they need to register first. So if we cancel registration and talk about nobody cannot register, we losing our people to vote, and we need much numbers of people at the poll. And we cancel the registration. So these young people as 18 years old coming out of school, we need them to register because we need every number count. And if we cancel the registration, we won't have none of the young people register to vote. We need everyone to vote. Now, so creative voters register policy to have the guarantee for all voters, the right to register to vote. Now voters registration is very important, to all voters. The enrollment, is the requirement that a person otherwise eligible to vote must register. You have to register. You can't just go to the poll and thinking you can just vote. And especially the young one who just not getting out of here, they have to register. Register which is being entitled or permitted to vote. So if they're not registered, they cannot vote. So it's very important that we keep the registration for the young people that's just coming out to register to vote. Now, if they don't register, they won't be able to vote. Now we have 18 years old, just coming out of school, have to register, and they have the right to vote. They're 18 years old, they have the right to vote. So that means everyone that just getting out of high school that's 18 years old have to register. So only thing I can see is so much drama with this election. Only thing I can see, it seems like they're putting a stumbling block, to keep people at the poll. Because Benny got some good numbers up there, and Benny, might be, he's winning, just stumbling blocks to slow the process of these of the voting poll. We have to have people at that poll, and you cancel the registration, ain't nobody gonna be at the poll. We need all ones that coming out of school that's 18 years old. We need them all to register to be at that poll. So everyone needs the opportunity to vote. Chose who they chose, able to choose who they want to be seated in leadership. So we need everyone to register to vote. Okay, and when you register, you must have these following. This includes the registration. That's why it's important. Anybody can go vote. Even if you're 18, if you got these things right here, you're not eligible to vote. See, when you register, they're checking your background and everything else. Because anybody can go vote. Now one, you have to be a United States citizen. 18 years old. You will need your ID. So your ID or your driving license. Folks, they will be checking for conviction in a crime. Then they're gonna be checking for you know, your record. You know, they're gonna be checking for that. You know, you have to be in a state, and you have to be in a state in your district. That's how the voting go. You can't live way over there and can go by your friend's house and go where she go at and poll. It don't go like that. You know, you have to, wherever you live at, you have to find your poll in your district. You know, so 5, you must register before 20 to 30 days before election. You can't go the day before and try to register, because see, they got to check the background and all this, and they're gonna take 20 to 30 days. So you'll want to do that. That's why I put out voting 2 days ago. I put a vote out. I said this is a good time, a good opportunity, you know, to update your own voting, even if you need to register. You know, this is a good time to update your stuff. Yeah, you know, because you can't wait at the last minute, because they got to do a background check if you got to register. You know, it's going to take 20 to 30 days before election. So you want to go way before election to get all this done. You know, and so 6, and other personal information. They had a whole lot of stuff. I ain't wrote everything down. You know, so I request guaranteed policy, you know, for voters to have the right to register. We're not going to decline on registration. You know, we're going to keep registration for our young people coming out of high school to register to vote. We need every number, you know, to be at that poll. You know, so we're not turning no one away from registration. Not going to turn no one away from registration. Registration here to remain for all young people coming out of high school to have to register. And they have to do this 20 to 30 days before election. You know, so big election for 24. This is a big election. We got Mr. Bennett, and we got former President Trump. You know, so we need big numbers to be at that poll so you can pick the right candidate for president. Now, all voters registration policy, you know, we need registration to take place, or we won't have no numbers at the poll. You know, so that's registration. They was trying to cancel the registration. We can't cancel registration because we won't have none of the young people to go to the poll. You know, we still need numbers at the poll for election. You know, so to gay order. Former president constantly disregarding the gay order. You know, the judge prohibited, you know, many times, you know, to stop speaking, you know, about the court cases, you know, in secret information to the public. But he disregarded gay order about 10 times. You know, it's like he not paying no attention. You know, he's like he want to do whatever he want to do. You know, so they thinking about putting him in jail for a little while. You know, for a little while. You know, I request that all his social media account be closed for 3 months. So you eliminate that. You know, request that all his social media be closed for 3 months. Now, see, the judge thinking about putting him in jail. You know, we need to just close his account for 3 months. You know, because he disregarded the gay order for about 10 times. You know, so it's time to close his account, to stop talking, you know, in public about the case. The case cannot be announced in public. You know, and so and I also have community claim. I done put this out like 5 times, and I don't understand, you know, how it's still going through. Community claim. You know, he wants to file for community claim. He wants to file for immunity claim. We cannot have no president file for immunity claim, you know, even a portion of immunity claim. We can't haven't applied for none of it, because community came. These are some of his criminal cases. It's like he's saying with that, you can do whatever he wants. I'm covered under immunity claim. So we are still, this is a criminal case, we are still dealing with insurrection of act of violence, against civil political authority in January the 6th. And he also had cases against him threatening someone multiple times. And he also mishandled classified documents. He also declassified secret information without being authorized. He also disregarded gay orders by 10 times. There are many, many more cases. So former President Trump is a danger to the world. He don't follow instruction, and he willing to come in the White House for revenge. We have democracy to remain. In other words, we have, to be representing all president. So if we have immunity claim, we'll be representing all president can do what former President Trump did. That's what we'll be saying. He will not be able to take responsibility, because, they will be under the immunity claim. If he filed for immunity claim, he won't take responsibility for all the cases that says he under. It'll just start fading away because he'll be covered under the immunity claim. All presidents have to follow all rules. We will not do a portion of immunity claim. So I decline immunity claim. I decline for no president to file for immunity claim. You're going to have to take responsibility of all these cases, and you cannot be covered under immunity claim. Okay, so that's all the news I have for you today. So we talk about established policy for restore Roe versus Wade. Now we talk about that. And we also talk about registration. They're talking about cancel the registration. We can't cancel the registration because we have young people getting out of school and they need to register to vote. I advise all high school, you have 18-year-old. 17, I think they can register at 17, but they can't vote till they're 18. Because I remember I did mine, I think, at 17. In high school, if they're 17, they're able to register, but they won't be able to vote until they're 18. We need to discourage these the teenagers that's in high school. Get them ready for vote. Talk about it in school. We need everyone to be involved, and be ready to be registered to vote. And so we also talk about the gay order that former President Trump had disregarded by 10 times. It seemed like he not following instruction. And I said, close all his social media account for 3 months. And so we just talk about her immunity claim. That no president cannot file for her immunity claim because all these cases that's against Trump, if he filed for her immunity claim, they will dismiss his cases because he will be covered under her immunity claim. So that's all the news I have for you today. I'll see y'all on the next video.